to the No Face Movements, January 27th, 2013. I'm bringing more updates on this story of the lightning witch doctor in Zimbabwe. Now, yesterday I thought it was going to be the last update until I heard this. This is just outrageous. And then I seen something in the picture, too. And then, it goes all the way back. When I was on Dutch Sense channel, we seen something coming out of Africa. Alright, in the same area where Zimbabwe is. Then I looked on Intocase, and the same little thing came out of Zimbabwe. Alright, I'm gonna do some more research. But this is just crazy. We're talking about goblins, alright? I don't know if you people watch Supernatural, but me and my wife, we're a big fan. Me and Mystique, a big fan of Supernatural, Dina and Sam. Now this is something they'd be reporting on, alright? Goblins. Goblins. And this is Zimbabwe, man. This is their official stuff. Alright. Now let's get into it.
Ritual gone wrong. Survivor explains mysterious blast. And probably the closest reenactment of last week's mysterious Chitgonwiza explosion, a traditional healer and survivor of the blast claims the tragedy occurred during a cleansing ceremony in which an imported goblin was beheaded.
You heard that? An imported goblin.
The survivor, Mrs. Clara Banda, who escaped with visible minor burns and eye injury, says the blast occurred soon after her counterpart, 24-year-old Speakmore Mandiri, popularly known as Sakura Shumba, beheaded the goblin. She claims to have miraculously escaped after failing to land the major role of conducting the ceremony. In a state of shock, she ran to her nearby home soon after the blast. According to Miss Banda, transport operator Mr. Clever Kamoyeza approached Mandiri seeking help to dispose of the troubling goblin. He was to pay U.S. $15,000 for the ritual.
$15,000. Alright, so something was going on.
The tragedy fell upon us while we were conducting the ceremony to dispose of the goblin that this businessman brought to Sakura Shumba, said Mrs. Banda. According to the traditional healer, Mr. Kamuyeza acquired a money-spinning goblin from a nearby country to boost the fortunes of his transport business. He, however, decided to dispose of it after it started to make extreme demands. Mandira is said to have assembled a team of traditional healers, including Miss Banda, to assist in conducting the ceremony. After assembling the team, Sakura Shumba invited Mr. Kamayuza, his wife, and two of their associates to his home for consultations, said Mrs. Banda. The consultations lasted 3 days, during which we discussed whether or not we could handle this kind of ritual. Mrs. Banda said during the 3 days, Mr. Kamayuza kept the goblin at home and only brought it to Sakura Shumba's lodgings for destruction on the 4th day. Sakura was in the bedroom with 3 other men who were members of the group. I was with Mai Tsitsi, Mr. Kamayuza's wife, and Virginia, another healer, in the lounge. Other members of the group sat outside since the house was already packed. Sakura Shumba beheaded the goblin. Clever, the businessman, subsequently told his wife to collect the $15,000 US from their car that was parked outside. That is when Sakura shouted that the goblin was fighting back. All I remember after that is a loud sound coming from the bedroom. The walls of the house crumbled. Virginia and I struggled to get outside. Mrs. Banda, who was slightly injured by debris, said she later disappeared from the scene before crowds gathered. Another healer is believed to have been among those rushed to hospital for treatment. I was hit by debris falling off of a crumbling wall, but my friend Virginia was not as lucky. She is still nursing serious injuries from that blast, said Mrs. Banda. A neighbor, Victoria Sarangera, said the explosion occurred at around 15-20 hours. She said she was the first person to see victims of the blast. I was outside doing the dishes when all of a sudden there was a loud bang and I was hit by a brick, she said. When I turned back, there were 2 men who were already dead. Their skin had turned black. One of them had a deep gash on the head and his brains could be seen, while the other man's body had been ripped into 2. A cloud of smoke went up into the air. Sakura Shumba was lying motionless. The businessman was also dead. At that moment, a tenant at the house, Mai Kelly, was looking for her daughter, whose corpse was later retrieved under a bed. Limbs and other human parts were strewn all over. The mysterious blast killed 5 people, including Sakura Shumba, the businessman, and a 7-month-old child. Investigators are still trying to establish the cause of the explosion that also damaged 12 other houses. National Police spokesperson Assistant Commissioner Charity Charamba said specialists in the police bomb disposal and ballistics unit were yet to ascertain the cause of the blast. The investigation is likely to take longer. There is no likelihood of the findings coming out next week, she said. Sunday Mail. That's sad.
That is the craziest stuff I ever heard, folks.
It is.
Alright, and this is normal. I mean, if you do research about goblins in Zimbabwe, this is a normal thing. I'm not trying to make fun of their culture. Who knows? It might be real, it might not be real, alright? But they said this was a blast, alright? It could either been from them making those chemicals, alright? But if it blew up, you see a lot of black sud, but I don't see it. If there was a bomb, you see a lot of black sud, and I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see
if it was a lightning strike,
that
was one powerful lightning strike, and the only proof that we had that it could have been a lightning strike would have been on Intercast and what's strange enough on Dutch Sense channel, but that's out the question. Now this is what I seen when I was looking at this picture. I'm not sure if you guys could see what I'm seeing, but this is just weird, right? These people probably can't see it. Only the camera can see. I see 2 strange things that's in the picture. I see this thing right here. You can see the head. You can see the arms. You can see the body. It's like crouching down. Alright? And then over here, you can see the head. And you can see a body. Alright? But look how it blends in. Alright? If there's something strange going on, looks like it could blend in. Alright? Maybe these were aliens or extraterrestrials that they grabbed. Because it's unnormal that someone... Come on. $15,000 US? This guy had $15,000 US. So his business was successful. And he had a money demon or a money goblin?
A money spending goblin.
A money spending goblin. Wow.
Yeah.
That's just crazy, folks. We're going to do some more research on this. This case was supposed to be closed yesterday, just the lightning and the witch doctors, but now we're on goblins, and we're seeing crazy stuff like this in the pictures. Alright, I want everyone to please rate, subscribe, and comment, thumb up. Please follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Blogspot, on Critterbox, on Godlike Production, and please follow Mystique on her channel. And on all her blog spots, on her tech news. She's about to bring up some more today. This is the movement to next time facing off. And she's going to show you guys later on her iPod. What are you trying to show them? The text app thing?
Yeah, how to make phone calls and a new app called Vine.
Since it's illegal to be unlocked and to save money. This is the movement to next time facing off.